I hope you and your family members are staying safe.
You may please go ahead, sir.
Hello. Hi. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you. Hope you and your family members are keeping safe. From the Adani Transmission Management today, we have with us Mr. Anil Sadana, who is the MD and CEO of ATL, Mr. Kandar Patel, CEO of AEML, and Mr. Rakesh Tiwari, CFO of AEML. Without further ado, I will hand over the call to Mr. Sadana. Over to you, sir.
So thank you, and I join those words of greetings and hope that every one of you is keeping healthy and staying safe. I can summarize based on the experience that we have had in the recent times that our frontline warriors have been facing tremendous challenges with this COVID wave, and they have been braving it well because of the vaccination. So I hope that the country focuses on vaccination and deals with the issue with lesser harm being caused by the infection. Having stated that, let me straight away jump to the Q4 FY21 results. Those results are with you. You would have received the press release as also the investors deck. Let me summarize some of the headlines and basis which then we can have the questions. There are three facets to our approach to business, which we have always talked about, which is related to growth excellence, operations excellence, and execution excellence. And in this aspect, in terms of growth, we very clearly have been growing at a very steady CAGR growth of close to about 15%. We have continued our growth, and during the year, we acquired two of the assets inorganically, which was one in the eastern region called Alipurdar line, which is a good asset. And the second one, which we just clinched towards the fag end of the year in March, is from the stable of SL Infra, which is called Warora-Kurnool transmission system. And this takes us from western region to the southern region also. So therefore, now we covered the map of India. And we also inch very closely towards 17,500 circuit kilometers of the lines. Having stated the growth part, the organic part continues to be the focus. We recently stood lowest in two of the bids, which will be close to about 2,500 crore of capex. These are the state bids floated by Madhya Pradesh, and the tender, of course, was conducted by REC. So the growth excellence continues. We will now move to the aspects related to execution excellence. We continue to achieve capex. I think we had shared with all of you the fact that we will target a capex of about 3,000 plus 1,500, 4,500 crores of number. We finished, I guess, 1,000 more than that because of the acquisition, and therefore it's been a good going despite all the challenges that one saw during the year. And this spree of capex of 3,000 plus 1,500 will be what we will target even for the coming year. That's on a steady basis, and hope to better that as we close the year. The good part is that the company was rewarded the license for high voltage DC assignment in Mumbai through a subsidiary company that is to be connected between outskirts of Mumbai, about 80 kilometers away, all the way to the mid-Mumbai at RA. Company has to complete the assignment as per the regulatory norms by 48 months, and we hope to better that. and we have already kick-started works. The management team in Mumbai has done an amazing job in terms of acquiring the land on the two sides and trying to look at finalizing the right-of-way for the route. Route has been surveyed. International consultant, a Canadian company, has been appointed. Work has been taken up by them for finalizing the entire technical aspects. So, all in all, very quick response to the clearance that we got from the Regulatory Commission. So, I've covered the growth part. I've covered the execution excellence. Moving very quickly to the operations excellence, which is two parts. One is to get the best out of the existing assets. The second is to make sure that the capital management program continues to get the best in terms of lowest cost to carry and see that the system is efficient enough. So to that extent, I must start by complimenting again the Mumbai team. All of us talked about the payment issues and challenges of collection. They did a superb job by ending the year with 100% plus collection, and therefore, they made up for all the challenges that we had during the initial lockdown. We haven't got any impact as of now because of that, either in April or part of the May that we have seen as of today. More so because the other amazing job that happened was that most of the customers opted for digital avenues, which moved from less than 50% to more than 67%, very close to 70%, in terms of how the payments were being made. So we hope to carry forward this further. We have kept internal targets to make sure that the digital avenues inch further, and we will do everything to improve those. Coming to the results, they are the view, but I would want to just simply talk about two aspects. One is how did we do in the last quarter? We have PAT, which is 256 crores for the quarter, up almost 333% times compared to what we had in FY20. And the cash profit for the quarter was 639 crores compared to 422 crores of the last year quarter. Now that's for the quarter, and for those who are keen as to how did the whole year go, on the consolidated basis, the year registered first time crossing 1,000 crore profitability. It's 1289 crore, up 82% compared to 707 crores of the previous year. So again, a very good performance in terms of the excellence, and the cash profit for the year, 2929 crores, 2929 crores compared to 2015 crore of previous, so up 45%. So friends, those were some of the details. Both ATL as well as and our distribution business did remarkably well, so I'm not reeling out splits unless someone needs to know those details. But yes, they too contributed to all this consolidated advantage. Last but not the least, our most fascinating and passionate subject, which is ESG. On all aspects related to the ESG, the company continued its quest to become benchmark. Aspects related to being a single-use plastic proof. We've got certification. We've started to roll that out across the company. That's unique. The second part is in terms of water. The company is now pumping more water into Mother Earth compared to the water it consumes. So it's doing that contribution in terms of conservation. And in auxiliary power, we're wanting to achieve similar quest. And of course, our Mumbai team is wanting to inch closely to 30% by next calendar year in terms of renewable electrons being given to customers. And to that extent, they have offered customers to even make a choice. So that's been an interesting way that commitment exists. Similarly, on the COVID times, the group as well as the company is doing its utmost best to arrange a lot of oxygen containers and cylinders. And I think we are one of the large ones in terms of having sourced it from all neighboring countries through cryogenic tankers, etc. And we are solving the logistics issues, which is the biggest challenge at hand today. Similarly, a large number of our facilities have been converted to like schools or small dispensing units, have all been converted to COVID hospitals all across, and with complete fitment for oxygen, so that those will be the advantage, and those are all up and about in the fastest possible time. So continuing to be maintaining safety standards as well as the customer interface standards of benchmark levels, the company will continue to emphasize on the ESG aspect. So friends, we hope that while the situation continues to be as good as it can be, we will hope that you will contribute to that by being safe and healthy. So I'm going to stop here, and we'll look forward to your questions and use those to respond further on any aspect that I might have missed out. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you press star and 2. Recipients are requested to use answer while asking the question. Please, gentlemen, wait for a moment while the question is assembled. First question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening, Mohit. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, sir. So first question, so what was the capital cost of the 2 intra-state projects which you won in the fag end of the year? And related question is that what can you lay out the opportunity available in transmission tariff-based competitive bid project for FY22?
So, Mohit, on your first question, the Alipurdar project which we acquired has annuity of no. There's no point giving capex because it's an operating project.
So my question was on the intra-state project which you have won last 2 projects.
Oh, 2,500 crore.
Okay. And so you can lay out the opportunity basket for the FY22 and FY23 if you can.
So that as of now the numbers are very large, but I think because of delays in the renewable projects, that number will get tempered down. It's right now talked about something like 60,000 crores, but I don't think so. It will eventually be 60,000 crores that will get floated. My sense is, and seeing the current situation, I think it will be good to discount that and assume something like 35 to 40,000 crores.
Okay, for the 2 years, right? So
no, I'm talking about current year. Tendering for the current year.
Okay, understood, sir. Secondly, on the HVDC project, when do you expect to award the project and construction to commence, and any commissioning timeline?
No, so as I told you that the schedule that has been provided by the regulator is 48 months from, you can say virtually from the turn of this year. So it's 4 years. As far as we are concerned, we will target to advance it, hopefully by close to about 10 months or so. That's what will be our endeavor. And as far as award is concerned, we are scheduling to award it, I would say the earliest, but if you want to know, certainly before the end of this calendar year.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, if you wish to ask a question, please press star, then 1 on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from the line of Tarun Bhatnagar from Bank of Baroda Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Very quick question.
Hi,
Just wanted to understand in terms of opportunities in the distribution sector, how do you expect this sector to open up significantly once the Electricity Amendment Act is passed? And do you see delicensing or sub-licensing? What's your view on how we should take the reforms in the sector forward? Thank you.
Thank you. So, Tarun, the question is very pertinent for the current times. Yes, this is an area where we all recognize clearly has to go through change. Because of the current situation, the entire value chain will be at risk because it's very clear that the current methodology of managing the distribution business is not yielding the results. Therefore, if the act was to become a reality, then as you said, nomenclature aside, then as you said, there will be multiple players that can actually do distribution in a revised definition of a district rather than a discom circle. And that would mean that there will be lots of opportunity. And in any case, if the act does not happen, today's current act permits you to in any case have parallel license. To me, the operative part of that parallel license can easily be made through different rules and different methodologies that are vested in the hands of the government. So even if you assume for a minute that the passing of the amendment gets delayed, if the government has the desire to accentuate reforms, it can do so. And according to me, time has come when it has no choice, but it will have to do that. So now coming to the opportunity for us, I think it's going to be just simply fantastic in terms of the way we will be able to look at those opportunities and spread ourselves to areas for the benefit of the sector as well as the customers. And I would be able to work through to ensure that while the network remains like a middleware, that we create a clear management between customers and the generation. And this is where our forte lies. So I think that's the way that we are looking at this whole business.
And just one more, just to follow up on that, are there any specific opportunities or specific states or areas which you think are like sort of closer than others in terms of getting through privatization or franchisee or whatever?
So one is on their own, the discoms or their current promoters, which is government locally, is moving ahead to put them to privatization or reforms or the change, as you said. And the other is by virtue of the act. So the first part which you asked in the follow-up question, yes, some states are moving to do so. But of course, the state machinery, as you know, is overwhelmed with the current challenges, and therefore they hardly have any focus related to the subject right now. But yes, some states had moved, and these include states of Rajasthan, state of Madhya Pradesh, state of Karnataka. Some of them have moved. Right now, when will they be out of this issue and when will they be able to focus on that, I can't say. But I'm sure central government intervention will be far more palpable than anything else.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to the participants, if you have a question, please press star then 1 on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
I wanted to understand the WhatsApp project, transmission project, which got commissioned in FY21, and how much expect in FY22. Of course, I understand there are 12 projects which were under construction at the beginning of FY21.
We commissioned several elements. You see, each project has elements, by definition those which can earn revenue. So we commissioned several elements from the 3 projects that were in advanced stages. We hope to similarly cover several elements in Q1 out of those projects itself. And during the year, we will certainly close 6 out of those 12 projects.
Okay, understood. Second, on the SL Infra acquisition, so what is the levelized tariff, what is the capex which have been incurred, and what is the capex likely to be incurred, to complete the project, and when are we targeting the completion?
So the tariff for the project as bid and won by them is 384 crores per annum, and the capex that is estimated by them is about 4,000 crores.
And how much it has incurred, and how much is still to be incurred?
As per their statements submitted before CRC, they have incurred 1,100 crores of debt and about 500 crore of equity.
And are the details, can you share at what price you are acquiring the asset? Is it the information which you can share with us?
So we have everything else remaining similar. We have acquired at 1 rupee equity.
Okay, understood, sir. Understood. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shubhadeep Mitra from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. My question is with regard to, how do you see the basket of capex coming up, whether it's on the central side or if you're seeing any more opportunities coming on the state TBCB side, if you could throw some light on that. I'm sorry I joined the call a little late. I don't know if this question was already answered.
Doesn't matter. It's okay. It benefits everyone else also. So today the pipeline for central projects, as we all know, is related to RE projects, and few of them related to interstate or inter-region strengthening. Inter-region strengthening and interstate strengthening will continue at the same pace as they were conceptualized. The RE projects, my personal view is, will get delayed because of the previous COVID issues and the current COVID issues, number one. Number two, the states certainly seem to have become active. There are tenders that have been floated by Madhya Pradesh, which we won, 2 of them. There are more coming. There are states like Rajasthan, which have just floated a tender. The last month, Haryana Regulatory Commission said that any transmission line above 100 crores will now be only through TBCB. And in the month of March, a communication was issued by Secretary Power to all state chief secretaries that hereinafter, please do all transmission projects only through tariff-based competitive bidding. So to me, the vistas and states will now aggregate to far bigger number than the central number because they have for many, many years ignored this sector and they had kept it completely inclusive. And now with RE coming in, they will have to strengthen their transmission systems because these are going to come through different directions. Plus, they come in bulk in shorter time intervals. So therefore, there is a burgeoning need for them to enhance the capacity.
Okay. Well, thanks for that explanation. Just wanted to understand, would it be possible to maybe, put a number to what you're anticipating in terms of the interstate or the interregional strengthening related projects, and what would be your best guess as to, how large could the, intrastate related capex amount to?
So the total estimated amount as per the NEP documentation, etc., is about 60,000 crore. I said a few minutes before that I'm expecting that it will be anywhere between 35,000 crore to 40,000 crore.
I see. And this will be spread over 2 to 3 years?
I'm talking about current year bidding.
Okay. Current year itself. Understood. Perfect. Thank you. That answers my question.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Girish Achipalai from MS Company. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. I just had a couple of questions on AEML, part of the business. So basically, first thing was this, I'm sorry if I joined the call a little late. The green power tariff, how will the structure work out for the consumer? How will the whole process work? That's just a basic understanding on that. And secondly, if you can throw some light on EV charging, have we made some business plan already here? Are we in talks with some auto OEMs, etc., to map out the city of Mumbai to begin with? Any color on that aspect would be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for those two questions. On your first question related to how does the tariff work, for the consumers in Maharashtra, not just Mumbai, Maharashtra, the regulator has said those who wish to opt to get entire green electrons for their own commitment can do so, and the DISCOMs are obligated to give it to them at a tariff which is 66 or 60% higher than 66% higher than the normal tariff applicable to them. So this is what is the pronouncement by the regulator. Now, as far as Mumbai distribution business is concerned, they have gone a step higher. They have stated that besides the choice that customers have to exercise, they will encourage customers to know that they would be willing to provide and meet other kind of needs. For example, somebody may want 50%, somebody may want, there can be discrete choices. They have said that we will be willing to facilitate that. Number two, for industries which are not able to get RPO obligation met, they have stated, including customers of some other DISCOM, they have said they will be willing to even facilitate that because they are sourcing far more renewable compared to the renewable that they are obligated as a DISCOM. So therefore, they will have the facility of extra renewable certificates, and they have therefore given that as an open offer to customers. So that's a fantastic initiative. Their commitment is that they want to reach 30% by 2022, and by 2025 they are taking a very stretched target of 50%. So I think hats off to the team. They are really spurting with what they believe is the way to go. So that was your first question. Your second question, if you can just repeat.
Hello? Yes, sir. It was on EV charging. If you are already in talks.
I remember now. So you said on the EV charging, what's our business plan? And the second part you said is, are we talking to any of the... So the answer to your second part of this question is obviously in affirmative, that the teams are always talking and in touch with the those who are providing electric vehicle, including two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and four-wheelers, and fleet, as well as buses. But coming to your first point, as of now, I think it's important because Mumbai already has charging stations at strategic locations. Those are hardly being used today. Therefore, the company is completely geared to spurt up its action on ground to provide EV stations. The important part is that the ecosystem, the electric vehicle ecosystem, has to move, and so that's what one is clearly eyeing for and waiting for. And once that happens, then the business plan automatically unfolds, and you will see tremendous spurted execution on ground.
And sir, if I just may ask a follow-up, because some of your peers are talking about, developing an app around EV charging, and they would use probably help of their sister or group companies. Is that the biggest thing in EV charging, where you are, developing an app which is probably going to tell you where exactly EV charging slots are available at any point of time? Or what do you think is going to be the bigger determinant of IRRs here? I mean, if you can throw any light.
No, so that's the least of the issue in terms of having app, in terms of having to provide customer the feedback, in terms of automatic prepaid charging, in terms of having a battery management system where you will get to know how many batteries are right now drained to what level, and they need charging or not, to inform the customer that you need to charge in next so many minutes or whatever. All of that is a back-end job. All of that is not waiting to happen because EV system hasn't proliferated. The point that I'm trying to say, all of that comes into play once the electric vehicle ecosystem gets accentuated. So everything else will follow, and we are all set with all of that stuff.
Sure. Sir, there was this news article in ET, which is on 29th of March, which talks about Torrent and yourself submitting a EOI for Southeast UP Transmission Company. Can you share any light around, what is the progress here, and what is the likely outcome? How soon can we hear on the finality of this? Any update on this?
No, so this is very simple. This is a asset which was built or awarded to a particular company from Spain. That particular assignment has gone into the IBC process, and it's being dealt by the bench in Allahabad, and they have appointed a RP. The resolution professional asked for offers, and we have submitted our consent that we are keen and we will be willing to look at that asset. So this is where it is, and after that we haven't heard much about that.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking my question.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Abhinav Bhandari from Nippon India Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, and congratulations to the team for a commendable performance in this challenging year. Sir, I had 4 specific questions. Should I go one by one or at one go?
It will be good if you can do one and I respond so that I don't forget the other question.
Sure. So first one was on the capex in both the transmission and the distribution business for this year. What is the proposed outlay for this?
I have maintained that we will continue to remain consistent with 4,500 crore, 3,000 in transmission and 1,500 in distribution business.
Got it. Sir, on the HVDC line, if you could help me with what's going to be the total project cost and what kind of return on capital employed or EBITDA one should expect on that?
I will ask my colleagues to tell you the capex number as approved by the regulator, but this is early days, and this is going to be on Section 62 basis, so it is going to fetch the regulatory returns, and that's how things will move. Rakesh or Kandap, you want to make a mention if the regulatory latest order has some estimates?
Yeah, so sir, the DPR which has been submitted based on some budgetary offers from suppliers is having an estimated capex of 6,700 crores. The DPR is under approval of MERC, and that will be again an indicative number. The final number will be determined through competitive bidding process, under which we will be making a procurement for the project.
Perfect.
Okay, got it. The third question was, sir, while you mentioned that the opportunity is about 35 to 40,000 crores, just backward calculating in terms of the cash flow availability with us and the cash position today, what could be our intake capacity for this year as far as those broader numbers are concerned?
So we normally keep a pipeline for 2+ years with us. All these years, in fact, we've kept more than that. So we will certainly want to, at least try and attempt to win close to about 4,000, 5,000 crores worth of projects.
Okay. And the last one is on the repayment schedule for FY22 and 23 for the borrowings.
Can we separately send that across, those numbers? If you
Sure.
don't mind, if you can just mail it to our Vigil or Jay, we will be able to respond to you, because those numbers are available, but at this same time I'm not carrying them.
I'll do that, sir. Thank you, and best wishes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Bharat Parekh from CLSA. Please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Bharat. Very well, thank you.
So good evening, sir, and congratulations on a fantastic performance in a tough year and the way you are guiding this company to a higher and higher heights. So it is so nice to see that.
So much. Thank you, Bharat, and look forward to seeing. It's been a long time.
Yes, sir, and that's the only reason why I'm speaking to you here. Otherwise, anyway, you've been nice and kind to interact separately. And sir, I just wanted some insights from the Mumbai team, because congratulations to them in terms of the approval of the capex and the HVDC line, which will do a lot of good to the growth of that entity. But just wanted to understand that on a asset base of like around 6,900 crores, I now have a visibility of 1,500 crores per year of capex for the next 3 years. That's per annum. And then we have HVDC, another 7,000 odd crores. So very clearly I see the regulatory base sort of almost more than doubling in the next 3 years. And while all of us know that customer base or the power demand doesn't increase that much, so what would be a sort of tariff increase which will be required in the year FY25-26 when all of these capex will commission? That will be really nice to know. That's one. And secondly, any reason for this big increase in the T&D losses in the 4Q particularly, while the full year is still okay, but 4Q there is a big jump. Is it sort of some sort of write-off we have done or something like that? That will be really helpful. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so let me respond to your first question. I think the important one is, of course, the numbers. Right now it is 6,700. Eventually, what will be the number will depend on what comes through the competitive bidding. But you should understand, Bharat, that this number is going to be spread not across Mumbai, but across the entire Maharashtra million units. So the HVDC project is a part of the transmission system of Maharashtra, and that's why there is a distinct license to their subsidiaries. And the impact that comes eventually on the Mumbai customer is just about 5.5% of the total on AEML customer. Sorry, not Mumbai customer. AEML customer is only 5.5% of the total annuity. So I think that's the first part on which you should dispel all your worries. The second part that you talked about is in terms of the fact that So that I will put it to Rakesh to respond.
Yeah. Am I audible in terms of distribution? In terms of distribution loss, sir?
Yes.
No, sorry. Actually, my question still remains in the sense we still have 1,500 crores of distribution capex in Mumbai. And even if we take like a 5 or some percentage of this 7,000, which will be whatever 30, so we'll still have like close to 5,000 crores of capex commercialization in the next 3 years. And on a base of 7,000, it would be big.
Bharat, we should separately discuss this because out of whatever number that you talked about, that also has transmission capex in it. So you have to first appreciate that out of 1,800, there could be half that could be distribution and half that could be transmission. And half will therefore get capitalized and get spread over million units for Maharashtra.
Sure. Understood, sir.
So Bharat, we can discuss this separately, but just to tell you the broad number, with all these capex, my tariff doesn't go up. It remains at the same level, more or less, in terms of absolute value. So in real terms, it will reduce at the rate of depreciation or inflation.
Okay. And if I could have a regulated equity for FY21 for Mumbai, ETB?
Yes.
Rakesh, what is the regulated equity for FY21?
2,500 crores, sir.
Right.
Yeah, can we have the breakup and also the reason for the increase in the T&D loss in the 40?
Yeah, so a breakup between various components of retail, wire distribution and transmission, we will mail it to you.
Sure.
In terms of distribution loss, if you see, we have ended up the year with a distribution loss of 7.8%, close to 7.8% as compared to 7.3% last year. It is slightly above. Considering the COVID situation, in the first 6 months, there was no reading of the meter which has happened. And that's why there was huge accumulation of distribution loss. And more so, there was no vigilance activity also happened in the first 6 months. Similarly, in the last 15 days, like in the first 15 days of the April, again the lockdown was announced by government of Maharashtra, and hence the commercial sales, mostly commercial sales and industrial sales got impacted. And that's why the total sales, which could have been more for the month of the March, got reduced. That is another reason which impacted the total distribution loss. The third important reason is the ratio of the sales between HT and LT. What has happened over a period of time in the last 12 months, the sales to residential consumers were more compared to industrial and commercial consumers. We have ended up a year with a reduction in sales compared to last year, close to 15% in terms of million units. And that 15% is primarily because of the commercial consumers who are basically HT and LT consumers. Now, if the ratio of the sales of HT LT consumers, if it is less compared to residential consumer, then the loss automatically gets increased. If the proportionate of sales to residential consumer increases, then there is a high chance that the loss gets increased. So because of these three reasons, which are uncontrollable, there is a slight increase of 50 basis points of loss compared to last year. But then now, once this lockdown gets opened up, the sales will commission. All the other normal business operation, once it will start, the things will again fall down to the normal place.
Perfect. That's really helpful, sir. Thank you so much and wish you best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharat.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Mohit.
Yes, sir. One clarification, sir. While we are talking about electric vehicle charging right now, are the business models, allow us to earn more return compared to regulatory, compared to, base ROE? Or in the sense, I'm trying to figure out the business model which will evolve over time. Can you throw some light?
So, Mohit, for the moment, go ahead.
Yeah. And what is the current regulation allows you to to monetize this opportunity?
So for the current, I think it will suffice to say that as far as the regulatory interface is concerned, it's more from the electricity tariff point of view. So many states have decided the electricity tariff for electric vehicle charging point, right? Many states have not. So, for example, if tomorrow you buy an electric car and you charge it from your normal socket, then naturally you are using your charging point, which is part of the residential tariff. So there is no distinct tariff for you, and nor a distinct socket for you, nor a distinct meter for you, and therefore it will be residential tariff. Now, depending on the situation once it pans out, there will be a distinct and a clear arrangement that will come through. Today, if I have a station, let's say, at a mall, then it's naturally a commercial tariff. Tomorrow, if I have a charging station at a particular industry, let's say, in their parking lot, it will be the industrial tariff for them. So each person, depending on today's use, will have to pay the tariff category that exists. But eventually, when this becomes mass scale, when it becomes, there will be a separate distinct metering concepts which will evolve, which will clearly give benefit to the fact that if a customer is doing electric vehicle charging from any point, he will be charged a standard tariff because the regulator will ask us to charge a standard tariff, and the fact that we will be able to aggregate those million units as we charge, perhaps into a distinct category. Abhi, Mohit, there is no such possibility in sight right now because whole of Mumbai doesn't have vehicles, electric vehicles, which consume anything significant or which have any significant requirement of electric vehicle charging. So let's hold our horses till such time the business truly starts to show up. It's not even a blip today.
I understand. Because one clarification, sir. In case you set up a charging station, can you charge extra additional money for as service charge over and above the the tariff?
Again, very hypothetical question. If for example, let's say you, Mohit, put a charging station somewhere. Okay. Today there is no regulation that you can't. You can put a charging station. You apply to Adani Electricity and say, give me a connection. Adani Electricity will give you a connection like they give to any other customer. And he will charge you the tariff category depending on the interpretation that you are using for commercial use or what use. Tomorrow, if I have a separate category for electric vehicle, he will charge you electric vehicle basis, but you can always put the station. Now, when a customer comes, if the customer tariff has been announced, then you cannot charge anything more. If a customer tariff is not announced, then you can take the connection and add your service charge and charge the customer. So it all depends on how things pan out when the mass scale starts.
Understood, sir. Thanks for the clarification. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Swarnim Maheshwari from Edelweiss Securities. Please go ahead. Mr. Maheshwari, you may please go ahead with your question, sir.
Yeah, sorry, am I audible now?
Yes, sir, now you are audible. Please go ahead with your question.
Apologies, sir. Apologies, sorry. So a couple of questions. First one on the ESG side. Now, you did mention in your opening remarks that, there is going to be a water positivity at AEML's operation, and also you mentioned about the, the renewable mix from the power procurement side touching about 30%. So just two things. First, what is the current renewable mix over there? And second, for you to reach that 30% power mix, So, have we basically started initiating the PPA, the new PPA for the renewable side?
So I think you mixed two things. First, let me clarify on a smaller issue. The water part was with regard to ATL. Okay.
Okay.
Not Mumbai
Okay.
part. So that's
Okay.
fine. That's more academic. Now coming to the second point, right now the current share of green electrons is about 3%. Okay. And they want to take it to 30%, as I said, by end of 2022. And you asked the question whether they have taken any initiative. They have already awarded contracts after going through the process of taking regulatory approval, floating tenders, evaluating that, taking regulatory approval, and awarding. So all of that process is done. That's why they are confident that they will be able to achieve that milestone.
Okay. Sorry, sir, to ask this, but I mean, are those contracts awarded to our group companies, or they were bids called out?
There were bids called out, and there were several people who participated, but eventually the award went to Adani.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Sir, the second question is on the distribution side. Now, you guys, I believe you were L2 in the Dadra and Nagar Haveli distribution bidding. And so first of all, your thought process on about, whether the L1 is that extremely competitive bid. So what is your sense on that? And the second one is, there is some delay in the Chandigarh bidding. So any reason for that? Is it just to do with COVID, or there is some other reason also?
So on the first part, I don't want to comment on competitors' bid. They bid better than us and they won. So I think we have to compliment them for putting a better bid. As far as so that's regarding Dadra Nagar Haveli. As far as Chandigarh is concerned, yes, we are awaiting. I'm not sure. First, I think the High Court of Punjab, Haryana gave them a stay order that since it's not a loss-making distribution company, why do they need to be privatized? I don't know whether legally that was tenable, but it so happened there. And then subsequently, I think Government of India went to Supreme Court, got the stay vacated. And so to me, I am not very sure whether there is keenness to go ahead with the exercise.
Okay, sorry. So you mean to say that there are likely delays, or the bids will be called off?
I don't know. I'm nobody to sort of conjecture any guess. I am only going by the past developments, and I saw the development which I enumerated to you, but I have no idea at all what's stopping it now.
Okay. So, sir, one related question was does that this was expected that the privatization of various state level discoms, at least on the circle wise, that will actually start to pick up. But we haven't seen any DF bidding on that side. So any take on that?
Well, I don't think so. In the last 1 year, any state government was in a position to really focus on any other issue other than the health and related aspects. Very, very.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference back to Mrs. Swarnim Maheshwari for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks to the Adani Transmission Company for allowing us to hold the call. Sir, would you have any closing comments over here?
No, I just want to wish everyone safe times, healthy times ahead. And I can clearly recognize the fact that if there are any other questions, I would urge them to approach any of my colleagues, and especially the investor relation team. and we will be very happy to respond to them very quickly. Thank you.
Thank you.